Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, Roxstars, I got a lot of things that I need to talk about today. Some things I did do some research on, others I just kind of am going by memory. So I'm probably gonna get on some of y'all nerds. Y'all gonna be, Roxanne, don't be getting out here and not knowing what you're talking about. You need to do your research. You need to do your homework. Listen, it's really just my opinion, you guys. This is not the news, okay? I try to be as accurate as I can be, though. So anyway, you guys, let's first start off with these deaths of these rappers that's happening more and more. I am not familiar with neither one of these rappers. I'm not gonna lie and say that I am, but from what I understand, they are both well-known rappers who were shot and killed, victims of gun violence. So the first one is King Von. I heard about his shooting. I think it happened last week. Might have been right after I did Top of the Blogs, but I think it was over the weekend. He's also known as Davon Bennett. That is the name that his mother gave him. He was shot outside of an Atlanta hookah bar out here by the name of Monaco. Let me get my words together. Monaco Hookah. It happened, last Friday about 3:30 in the morning. So I'm assuming going into Friday morning. Witnesses say that a group of guys were arguing. King Von was actually a part of that argument or the confrontation between the two. And there was gunshots fired as a result of that. When the police pulled up, there was another shootout. King Von, like I said, was hit. There was another person. There are actually a few people that were hit, but King Von and another guy, I'm assuming, was shot and killed. But the others are in critical conditions. I think there's a couple that are just, stable and didn't have to stay in the hospital, but there are some that are like seriously injured. The group that he was with had gotten him away from the scene, but he did show up, shot at a hospital a little later, and then that was where he ended up dying. The police do have a couple of people in custody. They're saying that there are a few more that they are looking for. And right now, I don't believe, at least as if I was, I was reading up on it last night. I don't believe that they formally charged anybody with the shooting. They have two people, and I think they're looking for some other people. Okay, so an investigation is underway. I guess there's some question as to who shot King Von. They're saying that they're trying to find out if it was the police bullets or if it was bullets from the confrontation that he was in that actually shot and killed him. So I guess all of that is up in the air. So, just horrible because young black men getting killed, gun violence is such a serious thing. We are hearing about it more and more. I mean, it's just bad. And no family, no mother wants to know that their child was killed and, all of that. So prayers up to him and his family, actually his family who were left here to have to pick up the pieces after he was killed. Evidently, T.I., the intelligent adjacent, you guys told me last week that I can't say that T.I. should just shut up and rap. Okay, but that is condescending, and he's much more than just a rapper. And I mean, I'll give you that. I probably shouldn't have said that. We got real mad when people told LeBron to shut up and play, right? Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'll give him that. However, in this instance, I'm just gonna point out, some of the things that the IA does that does get on our nerves. This is not exactly what he said, but this is around what he was saying. He basically went onto his Instagram and social media and said that Atlanta is a thriving city, booming businesses and black people and positivity and all of that. And basically, we don't need you to come here and be shooting and killing people. Leave your beefs in your city. And while I'm sure Atlanta would not like to have the extra tally of a murder of, somebody from out of town when they are here visiting, let's not forget that Atlanta has many murders that are committed from people, natives, people who live here. It's not as if we've got this extra clean record of, there's no murders going on there. And then somebody comes in and blemishes the report or blemishes the record here. And as if only the murders that happen are from people that have come out of town. So, you know, it doesn't help, is all I'm saying. It doesn't help to say these kind of things, kind of salt in the wound. People don't like to hear those kind of things. I know maybe some of you guys will say, well, Roxanne, you know, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. Okay, I'm just saying, just have a little sympathy, empathy for the people that are going through the things that they're going through. It's already bad enough that the man was killed, right? So yeah, people were all over T.I. until finally the IA came back out and said that he actually wasn't even talking about it. Now he posted this right when all of it was whipped up about what happened with King Von. He posted that, I want to say later on that day, maybe the next day. And people just assumed that he was talking about the King Von situation. Granted, he may not have been, you know. People have made the mistake of speaking and just saying something at the wrong time, you know, and genuinely wasn't speaking about that situation. However, I believe that this was probably what he was speaking about. But since so many people came out and came at him, then he had to say that he wasn't talking about King Von, and that he knows King Von, or he knows him and his people, and, you know, he wasn't trying to. So I was just like, listen, it's just like, it's so hard, I guess, when you are a known figure. You know, sometimes you just make the mistake. You speak out of turn, you say some shit, later on you think about it, maybe I shouldn't have said that, all of that, you know. Social media memorializes it and solidifies it, and then it's just out there, and there's no way really for you to take it back. You can always come back out and apologize, but people still think what they think. I think that he was talking about the King Von situation. But, I mean, maybe, what do you guys think? Maybe he wasn't. But we really do need to start to, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's all a part of being in the whole rap game, and just the way things are right now. I don't know why these kids are getting killed. I don't know why there's so much animosity and there's so much shooting. I mean, if I were to just go by why it's been in the past, is jealousy, you know, people having money and them other person wanting it. I mean, it's the age-old question, but it's just happening more and more. Rest in peace to King Von, Davon Bennett. I don't know exactly. I don't know how old he was, and I don't know if he had any children or if he was married. I don't believe he was, but I'll put all that on the screen there. But rest in peace to Davon Bennett, better known as King Von. He was a Chicago rapper. Who is this? The Amazon people? Must be the Amazon people. And look, Blue ain't having it. Blue about to try to tear this door down. That man trying to have to be like, here, you can hand it to me. I'm gonna just let him go. Y'all hear Blue? Anyway, let me get it. Let me just help the lady out and get it from her. Hi. You can give it to me so you ain't got to deal with my dog. There you go. Thank you. You too. All right, shout out to Angelica. This is my Glossier. Is it Glossier or Glossier? Whatever the name of the company is. This is the perfume that came highly recommended from Angelica Smiley, my girl over there. Anyway, you guys. So yeah, that's what's happening there with King Von. We can also talk about Dallas rapper Mo 3, or is it just Mo? Please excuse me. Please forgive me if I'm getting his name wrong. No disrespect. Okay, it's an M-O and then it's a 3. So I'm not sure if the 3 is supposed to be an E, just a little catchy way to turn the E around or what. But let's call him Melvin Noble. That's what his mother named him. He was shot on the I-35 East in the middle of the day, you guys, 12 o'clock or right before 12 p.m. So this is afternoon time. He was on the highway. They said there were cars stopped. And he was in one of the cars. Evidently, the suspect got out of one car, walked up to the car that he was in, with a gun. And Mo, I'm sorry, he jumped out of the car and ran. The person actually chased him down the highway, caught up with him, shot him, and killed him. And there was also another innocent bystander who was on the highway who was also hit from this shooting. But I mean, craziness. Now, I don't know any more about either one of these shootings, but it's starting to be more and more that these rappers are getting gunned down, and what is going on? It's terrible. It's just terrible. And these two shootings have happened in the last few days. I know there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of people saying different things of why it happened, what all. I won't get into that because I can't confirm that any of that is true, and I don't want to get into be a part of the rumor mill. But much like how I felt about King Von, here is another young man who, at the end of the day, is not just a rapper, but he's also a Black young man who was shot and killed. Gone. Mother has no son. Okay? If he has children, they have no father. All right? No uncle, no brother, whatever he could be. I mean, it's just gone now. And all because of, well, not because of, but as a part of this whole culture. That's all that I have on that. Rest in peace to Melvin Noble, better known as Dallas rapper Mo, or Mo 3. Alright, guys, and then since we're doing rest in peace, let's also give a rest in peace to RappersKilled. Switching genres, switching over right now. You guys all know RappersKilled from, I was going to say Wheel of Fortune, but it is Jeopardy fame. He was the host there for, it feels like 100 years. I mean, for as long as I can remember the show being on, it's always been RappersKilled up there. My parents faithfully watched Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy every single night. When I would go over there to pick up my kids, when I'd stop by after work, I mean, it was definitely on the channel there. That's what they watched. And he is gone. Now, we found out 2 years ago, or about a year and a half ago, that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And he was hopeful, or at least he put on a hopeful front when he announced it. He said that he is going to fight this disease, that there was a slim chance that he would survive, but the doctors had given him a pretty good chance. I guess when it came to the percentage of people who even survived, and so he was willing to fight. And for the most part, we saw him fighting it. He still did Jeopardy. We knew he was battling this cancer. My uncle died from pancreatic cancer, so I know for a fact that pancreatic cancer is one of the most painful cancers that you can fight. And usually by the time they find pancreatic cancer, it is really too late to stop it or even successfully treat it. But he was still doing the show. I just saw him in a interview, or they were showing like interviews when they were doing tributes to him just this past week. And he was talking about how he would be so in pain, but he was so dedicated to Jeopardy that he would be, he would film an episode. He would go to the dressing room. He would be on the floor in pain, crying. He would get himself together. They would tell him, you don't even have to do this, but he still wanted to make sure that the show went on, and he suffered through that. And I tell you, it just breaks my heart because, man, I tell you that cancer is just like fuck cancer. It is such a horrible disease. I don't think I could wish that on my worst enemy, to see people just wither away from something just so, I mean, it just invades the body. If it's not the cancer, then it's the treatment, so, but in this case, pancreatic cancer did get the worst of him, or get the best of him, and he succumbed to it. So he, of course, was married, and he had children. He had been married, I think they said he got married in 1990. So That's 30 years that he's been married to this woman. He credited her and said that she was the one who got him through many of the days. He said that he had stopped being afraid of dying, but what really just hurt him and broke his heart. And I think that this is probably what many people who get sick from cancer, I think that once you accept, I don't know how easy or hard it is to accept that you are eventually going to die from this, but they say that once you accept that, then what your worry and what gives you anxiety is who is left behind and what they have to face now that you are no longer here. So I get so emotional every time I talk about cancer, you guys. I'm so sorry. But I know what cancer can do to a family. So my heart goes out to them and many of you guys who are suffering. I have a good friend who has a younger sister who is sick with colon cancer, and it is so devastating to watch what she is going through. And so, you know, my prayer is just that people can beat it. And that's it. I'm going to get on from that subject. But he was 80 years old. He had 2 children with his current wife, Jean Caravan, I believe is her name. He was married once before. There was a stepdaughter, I believe, from that marriage that he still was very close to and took care of and still considered his own child. So I guess he would want us to say that he had 3 children. Like I said, 80 years old. Rest in peace to RappersKilled. All right, you guys. So this story, I mean, I guess it was a big story. LarsaPippen, who I didn't even realize had fallen out with the Kardashian clan, the Witches of Calabasas, and Larsa are no longer friends. Now, we know Larsa and Kim Kardashian were friends for a long time, and I was surprised to hear that they actually don't talk any longer. Larsa says that she believes it's because Kanye has brainwashed Kim Kardashian into not liking her, not trusting her, believing that she is a snake. So she has been cut off from the family. So I guess closer to the beginning of this year, she was unfollowed by the entire Kardashian family. You know that family, honey, they stick together. They like the fucking Republicans, honey. When one does it, everybody does it on one accord. All right. So they all kind of ousted her, and I guess LarsaPippen found herself on the outs. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that, but I don't follow them like that. So I wouldn't know. But I guess Larsa was on a podcast and she was feeling pretty froggish that day, and she decided to let out a little gem. Okay, a few gems of gossip that she knew that people would enjoy. I'm just gonna tell you the ones that everybody is all over. First, she said that she and Kanye used to actually be very close friends, and that he would be the one to call her and just kind of unload on her, let her know everything that was going on. He would do his rants and everything, and because Larsa was so good at listening to him, you know, they got along well. But I guess she felt like it was starting to get to be too much, and at some point she started to kind of try to cut off that type of contact with Kanye, and that was when he got upset, evidently, and went back and supposedly talked down on her, talked bad about her, and Kim Kardashian decided to cut her off. Now they all feel that she is toxic energy, and that they don't want anything to do with her. So she's been cut off. So I guess that's why she's just so free with the information, y'all. Now, next she tells us that she also was seeing Tristan first. I guess she's saying that Khloe Kardashian actually came about and stole him from her, much like Khloe Kardashian steals, other men. At least I know that's what everybody is going to say. That's what Khloe does. She takes the men that she wants. Isn't that what she did with Lamar Odom when he was seeing who? Who was he seeing? And supposedly she just swooped on in. And so it's not surprising, I guess, if that's her MO. I thought that Larsa was with Scottie Pippen. I mean, did we forget that she was married? I mean, they just was it last year? Last year was when they actually officially broke up, right? So when exactly was she dating Tristan? Because how old is Chloe and Tristan's baby together? True. She's got to be at least 3 years, right? Well, Larsa ain't been divorced 3 years from Scottie Pippen, has she? Or do I have my dates wrong? So I'm just like, what we all up in arms about Larsa being with Tristan when Larsa was married? Tristan, and actually I think Tristan was with the girl that he was with before Chloe came along. You know, so it was a whole bunch of cheating going on there. So why is everybody all upset that Chloe would have took him when, you know, he was cheating on his girl and Larsa was cheating on Scottie, and here come Chloe? Like, everybody was fucking wrong in that whole equation. So, child, I can't worry about them. Them is rich people problems. Quiet as it's kept, them people all mixed together. Folks be sharing people, and one break up with them and the next person you know is with them and they all in the same circle and all of that. That's what they do. I can't worry too much about it. Chloe gonna still be there with Tristan. I don't even think that Tristan and Chloe ever broke up, even after that Jordan situation. I think that they have still been together this whole time. And, you know, Chloe continues to ride the sympathy train, you know, with all of that and talking about how she has issues being with it. If you got fucking issues, then leave the nigga alone. Quit being with him. It's as easy as that. So I can't with Chloe and her all this and all that. I just can't, child. But that is the gossip on Larsa and Chloe and Tristan and all of that. What y'all think about it? Did you even care? You guys, Real Housewives news. First off, Salt Lake City. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I think it aired yesterday for the first time. People have asked me if I had any plans to review it, and no, I don't have any plans to review it. I didn't watch it. I didn't really have any interest. Actually, when I look at the girls on there, they actually seem pretty interesting. And I may just watch it just to see what I think. And that probably won't change, but I won't cut myself off from it 100%. But as of right now, no, I didn't have any plans of reviewing the show. Real Housewives of Atlanta, evidently, you know, they're still shooting right now. There has been a case where someone has come down, someone from the crew, I believe, has come down with COVID-19. So that halted recording. Now, people are asking if it had anything to do with Cynthia Bailey's wedding. I don't believe that it has, because Cynthia Bailey's wedding has now been a month, okay? And if someone was going to come down from that, it wouldn't take them a month to get it. So whoever caught it most likely did not catch it from Cynthia Bailey's wedding. And even if they did catch it at Cynthia Bailey's wedding, Bravo didn't record it. Bravo wasn't there, so Bravo has nothing to do with what happened outside of what they, you know, if they weren't a part of it, then that's not their responsibility. So, and I don't know who the person is that came down with COVID-19. They haven't said. I'm assuming that is none of the main cast. We would have known that. So I believe it is part of the crew, but that hasn't stopped anything. I know that Real Housewives of Atlanta is still scheduled to come on the first Sunday in December. You know, usually it's the first Sunday in November, but they pushed it out to December because, you know, they had to change all the schedules because Real Housewives of Potomac was late and all of that. So they switched it up a month later, but it is still coming full steam ahead. We will be getting Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I don't think that even them stopping this recording, even if it's for a couple of weeks, I don't see that changing the schedule. It's so far out that they'll be able to make that time up. So that is what is going on with the Real Housewives news. Just a little, I just threw that little part in there for y'all.